Okay, we've been ranked too highly for too long, so we're going to play some Delver of Secrets here next. So, 1-1 for 1 with no other text. Our other threats here are Smoldering Egg. When you cast 7 total mana worth of spells, you get to flip this bad Mamma Jamma over, then it becomes a 4-4 that starts dealing damage to any target. You got some reasonable card advantage in Expressive Iteration and Memory Deluge. We've got Moonveil Regent here as another threat. We've got Villain's Lair as a counterspell / card selection. And then we've got like Prismari Command and Play with Fire and Spikefield Hazard as other ways to deal some damage. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this one and see how this compares. The last Delver deck that we played was the Token Delver deck, and that deck was definitely felt like it was more about the Poppet Stitchers and the Sedgemoor Witches than the Delvers, so we'll see if that ends up feeling like the case again. Oh, I forgot to put Fuller Lands in my deck. What a punt. Dear Watsy, default basic lands when? Blizzard Brawl. Oh, they don't have snow lands for Blizzard Brawl yet. It's like Christmas. Listen, fam. Something was gonna die to Blizzard Brawl eventually. It might as well have been that egg right now. Hand. Library. Exile. Play a tapped land like a big sad. These mono green matchups would be a lot easier if we could win the die roll on occasion. Snarl is better to hand in case we draw basic. No. This way I get to go ahead and play this out, and now I can hold up You Find the Villain's Lair this turn. The odds of drawing a basic were pretty minimal. Yeah, Bob, just play the 2-color combinations that have the Innistrad lands in them. The Innistrad lands are quite good. Okay, so I think I have to, like, shock this, make a token, and then play with fire it. So that way they don't draw 2 cards. So untapped land would be a nice draw next turn, so we could do this. There's Cadillac, so I assume we can't win the game anymore. I'm gonna bolt myself here, because that seems like a smart play. I mean, to be fair, Shock doesn't really see a ton of play outside of Standard, but yeah, play with Fire is an upgrade to Shock for sure. This card is very, very good. The Delver of Secrets experience. We're just dead. We have a plan, chat. We have a plan. I don't know if it's a good enough plan, but it exists. Memory Deluge flips my egg next turn, right? Okay, so when this thing flips, it deals damage to any target. Oh my god, do they have an Inscription of Abundance? You gotta be kidding me. For fuck's sake. Well, I was going to say we can Memory Deluge, flip the dragon, and then play with fire to kill the old growth troll. But then the mono green deck cast one of its 8 Doomblade spells. And Fire Design took a dump on my hopes and dreams. Ah, Fire Design. Alright, let me just dig for Delvers here. Reveal? What? What is Fire Design? Fire Design was a change in how Wizards chose to design their cards. It's an acronym. It stands for Fuck It, Ruin Everything. Alright, so we're gonna Burning Hands this 4/4 token here in a second. I think Tangle Trap is quite good. We've been playing this in the sideboard of Gruul decks. I think it's very strong. Yeah, I'm supposed to bin that, actually. It does give me a lot of looks at other Burning Hands, though. Yikes. Hey, Mage, thanks for the 44 months. Welcome back. Do I want to egg before I Memory Deluge? I think so. Well, I get the land as well here, huh? I guess Shatterskull's okay. If I take the land, next turn I can flashback Memory Deluge and cast a Play with Fire. So I can go block this here, block here, Play with Fire this, go to 1. Thanks for the tier 2, Bear Senior. Thanks for the 42 months. Welcome back. Okay, so we're like technically not dead on board. You ready for this Inscription of Abundance blowout, chat? Okay. I'm not dead yet. I think I just keep taking untapped lands here. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lemon on a square, take my hands.
I will protect Innistral's forests, as if the trees can fight their own battles.
If you look on MTG Melee, Dr. Jazz, there should be an option to refund/drop from the event. All the payment and processing stuff is handled automatically through Melee. Okay, so... Okay. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Library exile. Okay, and I can say Prismari Command. Deal 2, make a treasure. And then then I can say Burning Hands, you flip over Smoldering Egg, decline. And then I can consider. So you want to play a land drop out here? So, stop me if you've heard this story before, but so far, the Delver portion of our deck seems really bad, and the rest of our deck seems probably somewhat reasonable. That's actually quite good. Oh, shit! I should have Spikefield Hazard in response to my Memory Deluge. That's a punt. I could have cycled through one more card out of my deck. This card is really good. Like, really good. So they have 4, 5, 6 mana total. So they could fire up 2 Lair of the Hydras, plus 2 more. So they have 6 plus 2 layers. So with the consider here, I can manage to not die, right? Did I miss lethal? Hey, chat. This card draws 2 cards with Moonveil Regent. That's the good stuff right there. What a just fucking absurd game. What a just absolutely crazy game of Magic. Yeah, hats off to our dragons there, huh? Like those two together, they punched the clock and they went to work. Hey, White, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate the resub. Welcome back. No, this is game 3, Trench Canary. We're not stuck playing best of 1 anymore. I probably want some deal 3s in my deck. More ways to kill things like Pack Leader. Just dig for a land here. Well, shit. Dragon's Fire. Yeah, that's true. Is that better than Curse Tag? Thank you for the pile of sub gifts. That's incredibly generous of you. Good morning, good morning. Almost afternoon here in the cornfields. Yeah, Scottish. You always want to take a peek. If you ever see me not online at my normal time, you should always check my schedule on my website. So I ended and started late yesterday because the patch didn't go live until 10 a.m. Central. Okay, so I'm going to deal 2 plus make a treasure, and this flips the Smoldering Egg, and then Expressive Iteration will kill the Werewolf Pack Leader. Wow, really kind of surprised that they had that. All right, so this is actually great. So we get to go hand, library, exile, play this, reveal this, cast Consider, kill the Pack Leader. Yeah, I think they flubbed by not using that to kill my egg when I blocked last turn. So find the Lair would let me cast 2 spells next turn. I think I want to get rid of this, though, because I really just want more removal on the off chance they kill this. Yeah, they could have fought in response to me flipping as well, is also accurate. Alright, doesn't matter. Mono green deck's busted. Alright. Let's put some more cheap removal in our deck that can kill 2-mana 3/3s. Well, so there's a trigger that goes to put counters on my thing. And once that trigger resolves, the transform happens. Yes, Vornclicks does also make the egg harder to flip. I need to update my cosmetics too. You play enough snow basics for Frostbite? No. Is Pyre the deal 3? Yeah, this is a card I was going to add. This card's pretty reasonable. Honestly, I kind of want to max on those and trim a play with fire. Why Seagate over the Giant Land? Because Seagate flips Delver. Unlikely End. Thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. It's basically just like a mediocre basic that helps flip your bad card. Which, honestly, we're going to play another match or two because this was a submission for blue-red Delver specifically, but Hostile is on my list to build around eventually, yep. We just have a bunch of viewer submissions to play first. So don't worry. We're going to explore plenty of things here on the stream. Once we get through all of the viewer submissions in that I've had people donate for, we'll get around to some other sweet things. I think we'll be through most of them today, so we're gonna get through blue-red. We did blue-red Delver now. We did Angels. We did mid-range. Yeah, we're almost through all the viewer submissions. No, we played Historic Zombies this morning. I think I'm probably gonna do a short stream tomorrow morning too. I don't know that I'm gonna do super long. It's hard to know what metrics are like on the weekend, but I think I'm gonna pop on and do at least a couple of decks tomorrow morning. How does Historic Zombies do? The non-memory lapse schemes were sweet. Thanks for the 2 months, Unlikely End. Welcome back. Morning, Praz and Runin. Thanks for the follows. This hand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. No, Zombies was the first and only historic deck we've played post-set release. I think we'll probably lose some more rank with Historic Delver tomorrow morning, though. Oh, is Charizard 7 Charizard James's handle? Well, that's just confusing. You kids and your multiple different usernames on multiple different platforms. Grasp me firmly. Probably Snow Control. Just hit our land drops here. Interesting. They have room for the eye twitch. Learn cards are quite good in Standard 22. You're just a little bit more stressed for slots in this format. I assume this is just gonna die, but my hand's so far from being empty. Yeah, I really dislike the Surveil interface. Shows you physically dragging the card between the deck and your graveyard, right? Or am I misremembering that? Can someone help me out? Am I crazy, or is that the case? That is how it works. Yeah, it's really disappointing how terrible the interface is. That's how Darcy works too. Okay, yeah. So the fact that like this works differently than those other cards that have a similar effect is really obnoxious. I am crazy, but I am also right. It's not just Surveil 1 because I don't reuse keywords like that. This is probably our best card to match up like this. Although Mascot Exhibition's pretty scary. It's a lot of grind. If Arena is becoming more spaghetti over time. Yes, definitely. There's certainly vomit on its sweater already. We be delvin', fam. We be delvin'. I should attack first, technically, chat. Sequencing. Blood on the snow now. Do do do. Boo do do do. Do do do. Boo boo. Hopefully they just cast this, and then we get to like Shatterskull Smashing and like crunch them. Even if they have the sweeper, the game's not just over because we do have Memory Deluge to dig deep with. I am confident that playing Delver of Secrets today will get us back into the percentages. I have faith, chat. It's a good pickup. Our Negates and Disdainful Stroke should allow us to rock this matchup pretty hard in the post-board games. Nah, the Arena Ladder's not worth anything for a qualification, Chris. The Arena Ladder, like, qualifies you for a qualifier. You know what? We might actually cast that as that might be a spell, chat. I'll tell you what. This is a card I like casting. This card is sweet. These are a few of my favorite things. Ebon Death's kind of scary. Yeah, we could definitely just get beat down here. Our Delvery do flippery pooed, chat. Hand. It's Mr. Insectile Aberration to you. Thank you very much. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough mana to flip the Smoldering Egg and cast another spell. I feel like I'm just supposed to let this go, right? I feel like I need to save my stuff to fight over their threats. It's a Faceless save in. Yep. I think I'm going to 4 here and just Memory Deluging. There's only 25 cards left in my deck. do we play Smoldering Egg and then Seagate? What are the odds we die? Non-zero? And Library Exile. Maybe I'm supposed to not play the other Delver so I can hold up Lair plus Pyre. Well, I think there's a good chance the Smoldering Egg dies here, so I think, like, trying to flip it aggressively, like, isn't really a great play. Holy shit, are they dead? They're dead, right? This is 10. And then this does 2, and then I layer it? Right? Yeah. Okay. So we go 2, make a treasure. What a crazy game. Delver of Secrets. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Delver of Secrets. Delver is busted. Craft 4 now. They're going out of style, chip. Alright, all of the counter spells get in my deck. We cast a Seagate Restoration for a spell. I wasn't expecting that to be a thing we did today. Yeah, both of these cards seem great, honestly. Do I have too many counter spells in my board? I have 9 counter spells in my board right now. That might be too many. Is Hermit good here? Okay, so this is a threat that counters their big payoffs, and then after they kill it, it comes back as a creature they eventually have to kill. So you're right that one specific line of text on this card is not relevant against their black-white deck. But Negate is good here, and Hermit is good for a lot of the same reasons that Negate is good. A lot of my opponent's best cards in this matchup in the post-board games get countered by this card. Hermit's just a grindy, disruptive card. Again, we're going to prioritize keeping this island in hand because there are 4 Snarls in my deck, so we're going to play the Pathway next turn, even though they know about this card. Wow. You see this lack of respect, chat? You see this eye twitch attack? They're just like, nah, Jeff ain't gonna flip the Delver. He's not fucking lucky. They got their 1 pointed because they knew. They knew I am never lucky. They know how Delver works, yep. We peaked at 21 yesterday. Delver flipped in play, cancel in hand, let's go. So, in general, my opponent's archetype is going to have way more removal spells than threats. So I want to save my answers for answering their threats as opposed to saving my own. Feels like there's a good chance they have another threat here in hand after jamming there. Blue-Black Delver is one of the decks we played yesterday during our successful run. Yeah, I don't know if I want to smash here or not. I think I'm gonna just chill for now. These things learn if they die, so they both draw a card, basically. I think we go shock loot here. I have 2 negates and 2 disdainful strokes we could draw. Yikes. The lessons they have on their board. The 7 mana one and some of the removal ones.
My children drench them. Aren't I the generous one?
It's a great draw.
I will get what I want.
Oh, that was so bad for us. Let's just do this now in case we find a land. Come on, brick for me, baby. Don't kill my egg. Don't do it. Have a heart. Could have gone worse. Oh, they have the treasure here, so they can get the exile target thing, make a 3/2. That probably kills us. So we can go double here, block here, take 3 down to 4, and then we can play this and maybe get some stuff going next turn if we have a little bit of fortune. Definitely behind if they have good spells in hand, but sure, these are outs. We'll play to them. Delver continuing to look embarrassing here. Honestly, I might just board these out for the last game. They play Snow for Blood on the Snow? Yeah, I'd assume that's why. Yeah, I was gonna cut these Delvers and put Prismari Command and these Pyres back in. Thank you for the 3 entire years of support. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Teodori and Bassone, thanks for the follows. Eldove, thanks for the 16 months. Peace, Owl. I think Innistrad's probably one of, if not Magic's best setting. Nice to have Standard get a little bit of life breathed back into it. I would expect best of 1 to look a lot like the standard 22Q did. Decent budget webcam. The Logitech C920 or C922 are kind of the go-to cheap-ish webcam that has a decent quality. I used one of them for streaming for a long time, many years. We'll be playing Brawl on Monday. I enjoy Brawl, and I'm glad that the option is reasonable to play it again, but that content's just not as popular as Standard and Historic. So, especially with rotation just happening, I'm not fitting Brawl in right away. Nah, I think they just have too much removal to be able to protect a DD. This card exiling our card advantage is real rough. I wonder if they have Blood in the Snow in their deck still post-board. Might just go hard and put all our eggs in one basket. I mean, the Duress was very good. It took our counterspell. Both their discard spells were excellent. Hey, what's going on, Sean? Good to see you in chat. The man, the myth, the legend, Day 9 TV. If this game doesn't have a bloody ending, I like our position, but if they have Blood on the Snow, we like basically have to draw land here or we're gonna die. Did I say land? I meant counterspell. Hey, hit me, dealer. Okay. Forgotten Archangel seems really good with iTwitch, huh? Actual, factual best draw in our deck. There could be merit to taking a land there, but greed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not joking. Like, this was actually the best draw in my deck in that position. Like, not close was the best card I could draw. I guess Consider into Memory Deluge would have been marginally better because it would have put more counters on these. The fact that they're not drawing here makes me think they don't have Blood on the Snow in their deck still, which honestly wouldn't surprise me. My deck doesn't go super wide, and I have a lot of counter spells post board, so a 6-mana sweeper is like not amazing against us. All right, 1 copy of Consider, please. Okay. Okay. You want the Prismari Command or the Spikefield Hazard? Are they dead? They're like pretty close to dead, right? Spikefield exiles Eye Twitch? It does. Well, these block, right? I haven't played a land yet either. So I could consider first to see if I hit the land, because if I hit a red source, I can Cathartic Pyre. Hey, put that card in your graveyard. Yes, graveyard. Okay. Gosh, never lucky. So we Spikefield Hazard to kill this. And then we gotta kill the Spooters. And then I think we want to kill the Queen too, right? Because I can only deal 20 to them. So we go 2 to your face, 2 to your Queen. Well, this is silly. Yeah, they can sack one thing, but that only puts Lilith to 2, so she still dies.
My will cannot be denied. I return to the abyss.
Yeah, the spiders have reach chat for people that are wondering why we killed the spiders. Hey, did they find Blood on the Snow in 2 cards? Otherwise, we get to do these. Using Pyre to loot to find a land. This is an execution. They find the Blood on the Snow? The CMC of the flip card is the same as the front side, so 2. Higgle Jiggle, thanks for the follow. All right, so they have an untapped land and they're digging for the Blood in the Snow. Ain't it? Like I said, I'd wonder how many are even in their deck right now. Because, like, the card's not great against us. Alright, I'll just attack. They only had one in post-board. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, I think he's technically correct. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if having 0 Blood on the Snow in his deck is correct post-board. Because, like, I'm not that threat dense, and generally speaking, I would imagine they could keep up with spot removal. Just, like, happen to draw all 4 eggs that game. Definitely above average for us. Thanks everybody for hanging out this afternoon, by the way. Great to see almost 1,800 people in here in chat for some Magic the Gathering. If you're new to the channel like Higgle Jiggle, thanks for following. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. We do Magic the Gathering as the primary content that I stream. Do all constructed here pretty much. We do standard, historic. We're going to be dipping back into some historic Brawl again next week since they finally fixed the matchmaking algorithm for that. We usually change decks every 60 to 90 minutes here, so you get a lot of variety. And what I stream every day, all of the decks that are worthwhile, felt like they had something worth exploring more, or felt powerful, end up on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for a lot of great decks, that's a great place to poke at that. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. The bot appears to be dead right now. Seeing seems fine in the dark. We played 4 different decks yesterday that were a good time. We played some blue-black Delver tokens, some red-green werewolves. Ooh, look at that. We get to murder their rampant growth. Sounds great. I will entertain most non-5 color commander decks. Alright, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? This might be a spell. Might be a spell. Yes, having 8 dual lands in every color combination is ideal for casting spells consistently. Okay, nice. I'm gonna hold on to this for now. This might be in spell territory. The one James, thanks for the read. I think I'm just gonna deluge at the end of their turn here as opposed to jamming this. You built blue-black Delver tokens, red-green werewolves, went from bronze to platinum in 1 session yesterday. Nice. Oh, that's Charizard James. He did some rebranding. Got it. Yeah, so no joke, I put this card in my deck with the intention of never casting it. It's just an island that bolts me that flips Delver. So, you know, sometimes lucky. A whole lot of nothing. One of the things that feels so powerful about this card is a lot of these red card advantage spells usually don't give you the option to do different things with it. So the fact that, like, discarding your hand to draw with this is optional feels really powerful. Especially with Deluge in the bin, this is not going to be a cast Seagate game. I think not having your username / branding tied to a specific IP is an incredibly smart decision. The #1 piece of, it's not even related to Nintendo. It's just like, in general, you should not tie your brand to one game. It's like when you see someone who's like Hearthstone streaming Magic Arena, or like someone with TFT in their username streaming Legends of Runeterra or stuff like that. Like, Like, you might be all in on one gamer IP for a short time, but eventually you probably want to poke at other things. Do I expect counter spells out of them? I don't know. All right, well, my opponent has appropriately ramped into a whole lot of nothing. So we're gonna flip this Smoldering Egg and then put them in the ground next turn. Are they actually dead? This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40, 50, 16, 17, 18. Oh, this does 4 as well? I think they're dead. I am considering our options, but I believe they are dead. Let's not click that one by mistake. Hey, Pipster, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. We're gonna continue declining the Moonveil Regent here. We'll take that one. 16. So this is yeah, they're done. I apologize, opponent. I'm not intending to slower you. I'm just stupid. Trying to make sure I don't misclick my things. Yeah, we're a little choked on red mana too. Yeah, Ashmouth Dragon has been real good. Delver of Secrets continues to be a little bit stinky, but the rest of what this deck's going on seems fine. I should probably assume they're on World Snake or Wolf Huntmaster, right? So Burning Hand seems good. Cathartic Pyre and Play with Fire seem whatever. Disdainful Stroke sounds lovely. What else do I want out of the board? Does Delver become Goldspan? I don't know. Someone else asked about Goldspan earlier. Like, 5 mana is so much mana. Like, our land count's actually pretty low. Like, what? We have 16 lands, and then 8. We're only on 24 lands. I guess we have cantrips, too. Maybe. I don't know. The Delver hasn't felt terrible. I don't know that I'd call it good, but it also hasn't been terrible. Then we could name it to blue-red 4/4s. Yeah, but like, so Memory Deluge isn't a card you need to flashback on curve. Like, Goldspan Dragon's a card you want to play on curve, right? Yeah, they probably have Epiphany, right? I probably want Hermits and Negates. Let's try this. Is Deluge historic playable? Probably not. Deluge competes with, like, maybe in like a bad flash deck it's historic playable, but in general it'll be competing with other powerful card advantage spells like Teferi Hero of Dominaria. And like, Teferi's pretty good shit. Oh, probably a little bit above average, if you would. Bottom, exile, do this. Thing in the egg, historic playable. Maybe? Alright, yeah, I deserve that.
Forest because of its beauty.
Flip! Damn it, Delver! Never lucky. If the Delver flipped there, we could have killed their token and then killed their Renin 6. But here we are. Well, I gotta kill that.
Even in defeat, we grow.
I think we're probably dead. We needed the Delver flip after the Ren resolved. Twin Dad Twitches, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. We need to stop asking the Delvers in our lives to change and maybe consider changing ourselves. Deep. This is now big enough that we can no longer kill it with burning hands, which is a bit of a yikes. John Charlie, thank you for the sub gift. I appreciate it. Sure. Mascot exhibition while I have double Hermit in play seems bold. Oh, what's going on, Tanner? Thanks for the third of a year. Do I want some more cheap removal post board because of their hermits? Maybe. Could also just like, we would have been fine that game if I hadn't let the Renin 6 resolve, or if our Delver would have just flipped. Yes, this hand needs a second blue. So, adding an unsummon to our deck for a game where I made a mistake and let a card resolve is a prime example of shit deck building. You shouldn't make adjustments to your deck because you made a mistake. The proper solution is, next time, think about the threats that your opponent could be playing, and instead, don't make the mistake. Don't make knee-jerk changes to the deck that you're playing because you played poorly in a game. That is sound advice I know I'm never going to follow. Hey, one could argue the fact that you know you're not going to follow it is the first step towards maybe being able to follow it someday. Honestly, getting their divide by 0 on this rather than the Smoldering Egg after it's got counters on it seems like a total win for us. For fuck's sake, extra turns. Ugh. Well, I think we're dead, Fiam. Hey, Burns. Thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. Yikes. Delver is really good at going to the bottom when we cast Expressive Iteration. I agree. Okay. Yeah, Delver helped us race in one of the games that we were playing. That's what it does, chat. It helps you race in situations where racing is good. Twitch chat and Magic players in general have this incredible bias towards wanting every card they play to be grindy as shit all of the time. And sometimes the best solution is just killing your opponent. The cards I always get the most questions about in terms of like, why is this useful, are always cards that end up killing the opponent. Those are the ones chat's always uncertain about. Like, well, why would I want to do that, Jeff? Why is ending the game good? A little bit. Armina was just too awkward this game. I probably should have mulliganed based on that alone. Seven, 8, 9 mana. Oh, I actually can't cast Negate at the moment.
You have not shaken our spirit.
Yeah, I think we're dead here. I probably just shouldn't have kept that opening hand. The fact that we were missing second blue to start made it pretty terrible. Let's try one more with this. I'd like to I would kind of like to run into an aggressive deck again now that we added the deal threes to the main, because the green aggro matchup that we played, we didn't have our extra lightning strikes in the deck. All right, Flame Burst, I'm gonna give you a chance to redeem yourself on this timeout that I want to instinctually give you. Link your version of this deck that you think is the same deck as this that you call Is It Dragons, because I'm going. Let me pick a number. I would bet money that the deck that you are talking about playing, that you are saying is your version of this deck, is, let's say, 12 spells different or more than what I'm playing. One of my big pet peeves, and this happens very frequently in basically every format, is players will be like, oh, this deck is the same colors as the one I'm playing. It has 2 overlapping key threats, so they're the same deck. And it's just like, well, yes, but also just like, no. Like, yeah, my deck's blue-red and has dragons in it, but like, this deck is very, very different from like the blue-red dragons deck people are playing in Standard 22. Like, by a pretty significant margin. And we were still dead, Mark. It didn't matter. There are decks that have 15 flex slots. Stop it. Whoa, my Delver flipped. It's wild. Hold on, this might be a spell this game, especially a Smoldering Egg. I want to chill on this Shatterskull for now, I think. Yeah, what Marty said there. If a deck really has 15 flex slots in the main deck, it sounds like your format's probably just not well balanced, and there's a core of cards you should be playing in most things. Like, a good way to think about it is... A good way to think about it in terms of percentages is the average Magic deck only has, what, 34, 35 spells in it? So if your deck is 15 spells different, that means you're like 40% different spells than something else. And like 40% different is a big difference, chat. Okay, so I have a Moonveil Regent, so we're gonna put this one in hand. We're gonna put this one in the library, we'll put this one in exile, and then we'll play this, and then play the other egg here. Man, Brutal Cathar is living up to its brutal name here against our Smoldering Eggs. But I'm playing Banned Humans. Okay, an untapped land, please. Okay, Sigarda's gonna get to trigger Coven here. Swing and a miss. Hey, thanks for the 2 years and the 29 months, Cody. Welcome back. So if I don't cast a spell, the Cathars flip, which would not be good for me. I think I want to get my Smoldering Egg back to start. Stop on their main phase so I can Prismari Command, kill this Lumiarch before, they get to combat, so they can't trigger Coven and they don't get a counter. It's aggressive, given the board state. This is Ward pay 3 life. Nice. Are they dead? They're dead, right? Maybe not quite. Am I short on mana? I have to Shatterskull for X's 2 to flip this. No, and if I do it for 2, then I have 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, never mind. So yeah, so I can Shatterskull for X's 2 on here. And if their last card's a blank, they die. And this deck just goes from like 0 to 60 so quickly, or 0 to 20. Yeah, like, cause you go from like having a board full of 0-4s to like having a board with 4/4 flyers that like tack a shock on every spell you cast. So the rate at which you're like, oh wait, it's time to hit the ground running and pivot is really high. Yeah, it's feels very similar to Arclight Phoenix decks, yeah. And the fact that, like, this hits anything, so you can, like, use it to control the board is also excellent. I mean, a version that focuses on the egg. So here's, like, people keep talking about and shitting on Delver, but, like, think about this deck and think about that statement, for example. How would this deck be any different if I chose to focus on the eggs? And this is just like the blue-black token Delver deck we played the other day. I didn't put a bunch of bad cards in my deck just so Delver would work, right? I just incidentally have a deck that's reasonable, somewhat looks reasonable, maybe is reasonable, and that also Delver works in. Like, maybe you play the 4th Memory Deluge if you're focusing on the egg, maybe. But like outside of that, like I don't know. I guess you could play more flashback spells to focus on the egg. I mean, like an Is It Spells deck? So sure, but like don't be vague, Stellar Joe. By Is It Spells, how is an Is It Spells deck meaningfully different than what I'm currently playing? Please explain. Greed, chat, for lack of a better term, is good. Sure, so just like loosely, your summary is put a bunch of bad cards in my deck instead of Delver of Secrets. Don't play weak cards because they have synergy. Just play more good cards. You'll win more games of Magic. They have not Sigil, but if I'm being honest, I'm not sure that that sounds particularly good. Like, I'm not sure you really want 12 of that effect. Magic players just seem to have a hard time evaluating the power level of cards that die to Doomblade. Like, yeah, it's sad when your Delver just dies. But, like, it probably was a tempo positive trade for you, right? Like, your Delver died, but they spent 2+ mana to kill it a lot of the time. So it's like, it's not amazing, but it's like, fine. And then, you know, the handful of games where it doesn't die, and then it flips on turn 2, 3, or 4, and then kills them, like, that's super reasonable. It's just, Delver's not flashy. It just does this thing efficiently, and efficiency is not flashy. Pick your favorite way for Elite Spellbinder to die. Now, I would not be surprised to see Moonveil Regent eat it here. Just eat it, eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. I'm sorry, we're gonna get a different 4/4 out of this, right? I mean, to be fair, Skycleaving a 4/4 is not even that good, really. Yeah, I think we were far off enough of casting Seagate that it was better to play it as a land, especially when you consider we have copies of that flashback spell in our deck that wants us to get to 7. Also, if there's a reason why this deck is playable, Expressive Iteration's a fucked up card, chat. It's so good. Just unreasonably so. Expressive Iteration is literally the best divination that's ever been printed. And it's not particularly close. Ancestral Recall draws 3 cards, so it's not a divination. Well, so Ponder only draws 1 card, and Ponder technically looks at 4 cards if you need to. Because remember, Ponder lets you shuffle and take a random. Deal. This card is really not great in the attrition matchups. Bugbear, let's go. Am I holding land drops to Cathartic Pyre? I think so at this point. Future lands are so good, chat. And honestly, so like, I know my opponent's obviously flooding here a little bit, but their deck building decisions have caused them to flood, right? Like, the real cost of playing a 3-color deck in this format is that you're going to not get to play creature lands. I mean, imagine if my opponent had, you know, 2 or 3 lands to attack this game. they would have run me down a little bit better. Yeah, that's true too. So they were through 19 cards. They were a little bit flooded. They were through 19 cards and had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. So I'd wager they're probably on like 40% lands or so. Probably 24, 25, somewhere in there. So a little above average, but not too much. To clear an incredibly low bar, this deck ended up being much better than I was expecting it to be. I think both the dragons really kind of punched the clock and went to work in different spots. Ashmouth Dragon just like popped up and did lethal from spots where I was just like not. There were a lot of like, oh wait, they're dead here, right? And we'd like count to double digits and like kill them. And Moonveil Regent like pulled us kicking and screaming out of games that we just had no business being in, because it was just like, all right, and we cast a spell and we draw some cards, and we cast a spell and we draw some cards, and that's even before you mentioned like Prismari Command and Expressive Iteration like draw 2 cards with this. Memory Deluge might be my favorite card to cast out of everything in the new set so far. Just like very, very satisfying dig through time-esque card. It's instant speed, it flashes back. Feels like they finally hit a good balance on the dig through time style effects are powerful, but probably not busted. Yeah. The art is definitely something else. All right. We're gonna do at least one